First time I've seen the thermometer above 30 for a week. Got up this morning, looked at the radar. Oh man. Pink, we're surrounded by pink and green. The pink is ice, green is rain. And we got wind, but it's a mild wind. That's something I want to share with you, but the wind is going to make it nigh impossible, I'm afraid. Told Suki we're taking a walk to the mailbox. She doesn't really know what the mailbox is, other than that word means we're going to walk. We're going to go outside and walk and run. I watch YouTube a lot. A lot of neat, very neat things on there. I have was becoming more and more sick of the interruptions for ads. So I looked into, they've got a paid subscription monthly. You pay $11.99 a month for the privilege of having them cease the ads. That's ridiculous. I'm not going to pay them to blah, 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 blah. Well, but they've got it's YouTube Premium, and they've got a 1 month free, like everybody does. They give you, usually it's a week, but in this case it's a month. 30 days of ad-free trial. I thought I can afford $11.99 a month for the privilege of stopping commercials. And as I've said, that's one of the beauties of Netflix and Amazon Prime Video is you don't have ads, no interruptions. You just watch continuously for an hour, if that's how long the TV show is. And I've noticed that a lot. It really is quite a remarkable thing to be able to submerge into an hour-long TV program or whatever, movie, with no ads. So I signed up for it yesterday, and that's another very cool thing. You sign up for it, and they say, okay, you're signed up, you're in the system, ads will stop. And they do! How do they do that so quickly? I can remember the days when you would sign up for something and it would be a couple days at most, if you didn't have to mail in a check, and weeks to get something activated, and it happened instantly. Well, I'm hiding out from the wind, and I'm up here by the power lines now, so has the mailman been here? No. One of the cool things about YouTube is they watch your viewing tendencies or things you like to watch, and then they make recommendations. They bring along new shows, new subjects that you might be interested in. Some of them you think, well, nah. One of which was the CABVIEW, riding in a tram. So you're like the driver, you're in the front of the tram looking out, and the camera sees nothing except just the view out front. And the first one I watched was CABVIEW HOLLAND, Amsterdam. And my gosh, you're on ground level, you're riding through the streets on the rails of Amsterdam, and you're seeing a whole slice of European life that you would never, ever be able to see unless you went there in person. And it's not the same as street view either, because all that gives you is still images of what things look like. Well, I was riveted. It was an hour long. Oh, wow. And this particular company has like 1,500 videos. It's not just street views of riding a tram. It's riding railroads, looking out the front of the cab. There's all manner of different content like that. I've only looked at, well, there was one other one, CABVIEW of Rotterdam. I assumed Rotterdam, it sounds so German, but I assumed that was in Germany. Finally had to look it up. Well, of course, it's in the Netherlands, not far from The Hague. Well, and there was one point we were riding along in Rotterdam, and you go through commercial districts, shopping districts, residential districts. And when I say residential, I don't mean houses like in the suburbs. These are 4-story apartment buildings. I'm guessing usually the first floor, the ground level, is storefront businesses. We came to one part of town where there was phenomenally bizarre architecture, and I'm gonna show you a little bit of that. You should be seeing that here, and it just I was aghast at it because my brain couldn't quite compute what I was seeing, the angles and the bizarreness of it. So original. I became aware that this tram was not stopping for let passengers on or off. It would go through boarding platforms. There were people waiting, but he never stopped. And I guess I figured out that this was like a sightseeing tram for tourists. That's all I can tell you. But I think that's right. And as we were going along, you would see other, very modern, sleek. So I highly recommend, if you're inclined to do any of this YouTube, you might enjoy. One of them I watched yesterday was a tourist ride only. See any otters? No, I don't either. But the last one I watched, it was a vintage electric tram. It started out on overgrown tram tracks. Grass was grown up between the tracks, and on either side it was looking very much like an abandoned track. And the more I watched, the more I realized, yeah, this is a tourist ride. But it went for 6-8 miles, I'm guessing. Took more than a half an hour. And one of the giveaways was they would come to an intersection or a road crossing in front of them from left to right, and it would stop, and then a guy would appear just outside the front window carrying an orange flag on a stick, and he would walk out onto the roadway, looking both ways, then hold one arm up and hold the flag up, and then the tram would proceed across. And then he would hop aboard, and on they would continue to the next whatever. Wonderful fun. And I don't go much for those kinds of tourist traps. A restored railroad, you get a mile or two ride on old rails that they've restored, and bringing tourists for a nice little ride on these repainted, restored railroad cars. I don't know, that has never interested me, but this tram and the route it went was so refreshing. And the guy with the flag, there's something genuine about it and honest. And this was in Rotterdam, Netherlands. Let's go across here and take a little walk up the other side of Otter Pond. What say you? A leaf skittering along the surface of the ice. I heard it first. Thought, is that a wolf? There she comes, Jesus. I just looked over there. Oh. I've seen something you haven't seen yet, but this is... I'm looking at the base of that tree. Why did it fall down? Well, I can show you why. It's an answer to a question I've had. It didn't fall naturally. It has been gnawed by a beaver. So, there's a beaver. I don't see one. It's not what I was saying. But now we know. Why haven't I seen it? No idea. That was a perfectly good tree. What is he going to do with it? Eat? But I would guess that's why he took it down. Food source for the winter. Yeah, he's already taken that branch off. And where did it go? He hauled it somewhere? Obviously he did. Now, this is the tree that came down a couple years ago. And that one also. Thanks to the beaver. It didn't fall by itself in a wind. I'm looking at the birch tree. It's leaning over. It got partially taken out by the beaver when he took that popple down. I'm going to come over and get that for firewood. No reason to leave it. All right, I wanted to take you someplace other than the normal places. I guess I'm going to go back and see if I can get under that popple. Could never do this with an oak tree. My friend Lady, the doe, has been continuing to visit and eat around the house almost any day and any time of day. If I go to the windows and look out in one direction or another, she'll be out there. I'm thinking of buying some apples and throwing them out there. But what would that encourage? I don't know if that would be. 2 years ago, this was an open trail. How quickly stuff grows up. Barbed wire here. That marks the property line. I know we're going to walk over to the south of us here. All right, Suki, pay attention. Come on, damn it, dog. Have any of you ever heard of a damn it doll? Damn it, as in curse. Doll, D-O-L-L. I learned about damn it dolls when I worked at the library. The head librarian told me about these. It's just a rag doll, and you fling it as hard as you can when something goes wrong in life. Damn it doll, get the damn it doll. Throw it up against the wall. I have a toy dull. All right, she came running back and I turned and walked this way. Now what? She ran past. It's a monkey, I think. And it's floppy, but it's got a voice box inside of it. And you activate it, you turn it on and you throw it against something hard like a wall, and it hits and screams. It's a lot of fun. Kids really enjoy it. Now this is a backwater of Otter Pond. It goes around out through there and then to the right where it meets up with the main swamp out there. And when the water's high enough, which it is now, there's water in here. I remember when we first began coming out here. It's 3 years ago now, we're coming up on, this was all empty, dry. You could just walk through there. The ebb and flow of the hydro system. I wouldn't walk out there right now though. All right. Not much to see out here this time of year. Although I've discovered beaver workings. Wouldn't have if I hadn't come across the other side of Otter Pond. I'm kind of sad in a way that we apparently do not have otters. But a beaver that's going to be killed off when Dennis comes up in the spring. We're going this way, Suki. Well, she does look to me for guidance. Where are we going now? What direction? I'm poised to head off east here. No, we're not going east. All right. This is where I came down in May. Marsh marigolds were delightfully in full bloom. Mosquitoes were not. Wood ticks certainly were. This is the little ravine that the beaver filled in. Very quick, easy job for him to do that. This is the outlet. That's about 10 inches wide. So for him to shove mud up in there and closes the whole rest of the pond. Well, we get a lot of rain and meltwater. In the spring, this is going to fill right up. I've always wished that this little stream was just a tad bit wider where I could get a kayak in there and follow it for a ways. All right, to hell with it then. I could be sitting in my rocking chair watching Amsterdam slide by my eyes. Instead, I'm out here bushwhacking. You know, I'm thinking maybe we could have the fire down at the edge of the bog at Slashing's pile. Maybe it's time we do that. Let's go take a look. I noticed Lady the doe out here. And she was eating right around the perimeter of that fence. I thought, yeah, if this fence wasn't here, that would have been nibbled off ground level. I don't see any danger from having this thing burning. No danger at all. And this, Jesus, that's going to be a chore to get all of this brought over to there. The pitchfork will have to be used for that. And that pile is mostly big, long saplings. That won't be a problem. And I really want to haul all as much as is loose as I can pull out of there. Get that up on this pile. Once this burns down, I mean, you know, I'm not going to pile it up there yet to start with, but once this gets good and hot and is burned down by 2/3, then throw more on. I think I want to walk along Bog's Edge. I don't want to be going inside yet. I did want to get the drone out one last time before winter. And I guess I've been waiting for this kind of day with the temperature above freezing in the 30s. Like to get from the air the snowy landscape. There isn't enough wind to matter. I'm currently going through about 2 buckets of wood a day. Look at the melting. Such a happy sound too. By midwinter, when we're down in the lows of 10 below and 5 above for a high, that consumption is going to change to 3 buckets a day, at least. I'm using these short little guys for kindling. Got a cracker in the house. Just taking them down little by little. These are perfect. I used to have to be cutting up some... hello, Mr. Cricket. I don't want to hurt you, buddy. He's moving, so he's still alive. Used to have to cut up lumber, 2x4s and 2x2s for kindling. When I discovered these, that's perfect. Where are you, Mr. Cricket? There he is. I'll put you up there, up in the nosebleed section, mister. Especially talking about cutting up kindling. I was getting very low on resources for that. This is a very uncoordinated bucket of BTUs. This is leaning. I don't want to go inside yet. It's too good to be out here. Well, I don't have anything to talk about. Isn't that an unusual situation? Haven't heard geese for now a couple weeks. Heard a sandhill crane a week or so ago, which I thought was rather unusual. I don't know when they leave, when they're supposed to be out of here. Can't think of anything else I've heard in the wildlife of waterfowl life. I don't know when the last loon was. That was probably early September. They head for Florida. Hello, sweetheart. Got to brush her. She looks like a mange-struck dog, at least around her rear quarter. None of it seems to be falling out, though. I'm not seeing clumps, or I'd be even more intent on getting her brushed a bit. I did think about bringing her outside today, doing it like I did this past May on the deck. Droning. I guess I should go in and charge the batteries. Battery in the...
Removable batteries in the drone. We charge it to make sure if I can go out and... I think after 2 weeks of no, they automatically, by intent, they discharge themselves to about 50%. Those are little batteries.
Oh, hello, sweetie. Hello, stinky mouth. Yes. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh. I used to be offended when I'd give her loving like that and be done, shake me off like, oh well, I tolerated that, but I gotta get you off me. Yeah, that good dude. Hey, the good dude. No, stop. Show them your... No. No. Hey. No. Dial it down. There, that's right. You're supposed to be doing just a little whine. Speak. There you go, that's right. Now do a whine. There you go, yeah. That good do it. That good do it. Oh, you got it, I don't. Yesterday walking on the road out there, she came running out of the woods, full tilt. There was a log up on a ledge. She leaped over the log and it was fairly down low. You got a sore hip? I don't think so. At least in that case, you just went like your old self. All right, Suki, we should be done entertaining. No, we're gonna go upstairs and work on the computer. I don't know what I'm doing here. I gotta fold up tarp. Permiso. That's it for this time. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button. See you next time.